Hi guys, welcome back to the video. Thanks for tuning back in. So quick reminder, we are doing our giveaway till Tuesday next week to win the booster bundle for the Destin rivals. All you have to do again is please subscribe, like, notifications on. Yeah, leave a comment, favourite Pokemon, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. So yeah, so I thought I'd go through. So again, attention's on the 30th anniversary. There's a lot of opportunities in the market. I'm going to talk about the best ones. So I'm going to go through sort of singles in the market, sort of most sub sort of $10. I just think are too cheap. We'll go through the data and I'll just sort of analyze exactly what we're sort of looking at. And yeah, why I think they're good buys. So again, everyone's attention's on the 30th, so we're going to sort of take a step back, look at the overall picture, and try and get some discounts while they're here. Okay, so number one, so Ethan's Typhlosion from Destin Rivals. So again, we need to look at the popular sets. So with Destin Rivals, again, it's at a huge discount right now. We're seeing reprints on ETBs. We just had a reprint for the booster box, so again, the cards are going to be taking a bit of a hit with these reprints. So we've got to take advantage of that. So yeah, we've got some data here. So again, we're looking at again, the red's the volume, the orange is the PSA 10, and then the green is the raw values. So again, the raw has dropped from again since last year from 36 down to 28. So not too bad, but what I do find interesting is the PSA 10 values have increased. So even though we're seeing raws dropping, the PSA 10 is holding up. And that's a good sign. PSA 10 is the peak, that's what we want to go for. And again, it's all about investments. And it's a card I think, especially the raw, I think there's a huge opportunity here. So with Ethan sort of Typhlosion, what I sort of tend to also look for as we are dipping, that people are buying more. So again, for example, here you're seeing the blue sort of uptick because that is purchases. So in the month alone, we've seen 350 sold. And again, you can see here we are starting to see the increase in the buy pressure as the price is declining. So accumulation is beginning. And once you sort of hit that bottom, again, it'll be evident from sideways price action, still getting that good amount of buys and volume, price will then just start to reverse. So again, what you don't want to see is there's no buy action and the price is going down because people aren't interested in cheaper cards. So again, we want to see that evidence, and you tend to see that in the popular sets. Yeah, so Ethan's Typhlosion for me, really good opportunity, especially raw. If you can get some real mint sort of raw copies, again, a discrepancy in the difference between the PSA 10s and the raw is it's over 12x. So if you get a really good raw copy, I think chance it. I think you get apps nowadays, you can sort of look for the sort of greater potential. Again, raw 29, PSA 10s 332. So yeah, so that's my first pick. Number two, Chaos Rising's got some really cheap illustration rares. Can't get my words out. So what I do like is the Greninja sort of evolution line. I just think they're too cheap. Again, with the Chaos Rise and the Pitch Black, I always forget the one before. Apologies. Perfect Order. There we go. So with those three sets again, the issue you've got when people don't think the set is good with good chase cards, they tend to miss all the illustration rares that are phenomenal. So sorry, do go on to the next one. But Frogadier, particularly if you've noticed already, price has declined from 19 down to 7. Look at the volume; it's upticking. Really good to see. The PSA 10s have come down slightly. Again, they've come down from 400 down to 157, so it's about 150% dump. But again, that's why we're looking for these opportunities. You don't buy and release, you wait for these sort of dips. So again, it's the raw price. You're looking at sub 730. And the PSA 10, you're looking at 157. So the difference is massive. So when I say about invest in illustration rares that are cheap, you want to get mint copies. You can grade them, keeping your binders for long term. Because I think good sort of evolution lines, Greninja is so popular. People are going to want to buy, especially from the Chaos Rise and the top chase cards. They're going to want to buy the evolution line with that. So that's what I'm looking for. Yes, again, you've got the Greninja, you've got the Froakie, and you've got the Frogadier. So these are three to definitely not the three. The Greninja I think will still come down a bit. It's just not on our list, but I do think the Froakie and the Frogadier, I think they are ones to definitely pick up. I will go through quickly Froakie again. So another one which the PSA 10 has remained stable. The raw is 1162 and the PSA 10s are 249. So again, about an 18 times difference. So again, any sort of solid mint raw copies, please don't sleep on those. Really good to see. And again, it's all about opportunities. Everyone's attention is on Delta Rain 30th anniversary for good reason. I've got loads of videos lined up next week to touch base on those sets. But you can't ignore the good sets that they're just getting swept aside. So again, illustration rares. It's the beautiful thing that Scarlet and Violet bought in, which they've continued into Mega as well. So again, take advantage while it is cheap, because again, it won't be for long. Okay, Dewgong, moving on. So again, from Fantasmal Flames, I've talked about this card for quite a while. I think the artwork is brilliant. We've got the aura in the background, the glow around Dewgong. It's a Gen 1, favourite. And again, we're seeing the uptick in volume as we have dropped, and we're starting to see the uptick. So we've dropped from 450 up to 507. And again, in relation to the PSA 10 discrepancy, 91 down. So raw for the 530 is the raw, sorry. PSA 10 is 91. So again, it's about an 18 to 18 not percent times difference. So again, fantastic discrepancy there. So if you get any mint copies and you get them graded, chances are you're going to be rewarded with that at least a 10x sort of time. So, and I think long term, again, Fantasmal Flames. Again, really, everyone knows it's a strong set, but they focus too much on that Charizard, not with the other cards in the set. So again, pay attention to Dewgong. Moving on, so again, Fantasmal Flames, so again, Flygon. So Dragon type, and what I do like more about this particular illustration rare is you've got the evolution line in the picture. So you've got Trapinch at the bottom, you've got Vibrava sort of above the sort of lily pads, you've got Lotad as well, chilling. And then obviously you've got Flygon above, sort of looking down. But what I do also like, again, is a discrepancy with the raw card is too cheap. It's $4.75. And then you've got the PSA 10. You're looking at $100. So again, it's over a 22 times difference, and that's why we look at the data to show us these sort of opportunities. Flygon, again, it's part of a fantastic set. You've got so many good illustration rares in there. The volume's good. So again, we're still seeing again, we did dip a little bit from the June sort of periods, but for the summer months, we're still seeing a steady trend, which is brilliant. If we look at the yearly chart, again, volume consistent. PSA 10, it's just in that accumulation range. And again, in time when, we're moving on to the 10th generation, people are going to be scouring back, looking back at these illustration rares. Because let's be honest, we never had all these back in previous generations, like Black and White. Again, you had cause obviously with the Scarlet and Violet Sword and Shield, you do, not Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet do have the EX cards, the full arts. You've still got those illustration rares on top of that. We never had that with the old sort of Black and White. Sword and Shield had the trainer galleries, but not every set had that. Scarlet and Violet, every set has had the illustration rares. The Mega Evolution have had that, and we just got to take advantage while it's cheap. We're in such a good period for Pokemon investing. That's why it's so important to release these videos to you guys and just show you what discounts can be had. Moving on, Meowth. Again, Phantasmal Flames. So again, it's one of those cards. It's a Gen 1 fan favourite. Volume is really good. We've seen that sort of dip in price, and we've sort of seen that accumulation range I talked about whilst the volume is picking up. So people are buying this whilst price is starting to uptick. Again, this won't be sat here for long. You've got the poker environment in the background. Excuse me. And again, raw price, it's nice and cheap. So you're looking at 21 sort of dollars with the raw. And then again, PSA 10s are 184. So again, not as big of a difference as it's about an 8x. Again, the gap is closing in, so the opportunity is sort of not fading, but I think we're gonna start to see this move pretty quickly. Again, if we don't reprint the Phantasmal Flames, we've got multiple illustration rares that are going to be pumping, and we're starting to see that sort of uptick. So again, pay attention. Really good card, Meowth, Team Rocket theme. Yeah, brilliant. Ethan Stiflation, we've done that. Apologies. Steelix. Okay. So yeah, I found this quite interesting. I was quite shocked how cheap this was. So again, it's Mega Evolution base. So let me just show you. So again, Steelix, Onyx Evolution. It's a fantastic Pokemon. It really is. So again, we've sort of seen that sort of movement up from the base at again, on release you'll always see those massive sort of hikes, and then we sort of see that stability. So again, we've bottomed at 6, up to now 783, and again we're seeing consistent volume kick in. So as long as we don't get any major reprints, it's going to do well long term. Again, raw price 748. PSA 10 is 70 there or thereabouts, and it's just remained flat. PSA 10 is up about 30% from the lows at 48. And again, 748 to 69. Yeah, it's about a 7x return, which is again fantastic. And again, long term, I think Steelix, again, I love the strike and pose, sort of in that sort of cave environment. Like you just sort of stumbled across it, you're going to shit your pants, you're going to move on. But with the cards, don't move on, pay attention. These are cheap, and people are noticing. It's just seen this uptick. Not many people are selling. It's more about the sort of purchases, the buying, and we're still seeing good volume. Over a couple of days, a few hundred are selling. So yeah, really good. Moving on, Beautifly. So again, Ascended Heroes. So with this one in particular, we may start to see dips because Ascended Heroes, we're seeing reprints. It's going to cause more supply in the market. It's going to cause those drops. And yeah, we're seeing that. We've come down from 893 down to 764. Again, the volume is really good. The thing is, you've got attention on the set, so the illustration rares are going to be more noticed. But I thought I mentioned this one. I like the sort of style to it, sort of illustration, not comic, but like that artistic sort of vibe. I can't remember the word. But really cool, sort of like cross stitch, sort of you sort of see the grade and the yeah, the word will come to me, but really good artwork. It's looking for the nectar and the plants in the foreground, and again we're seeing the uptick kick in. We're seeing the volume start to pick up. And again, like the name of the Pokemon, beautiful cards. But again, I probably would wait a little bit to pick this up, but just thought I'd bring it to your attention. All right. So again, we want to sort of pay attention to sort of sets that likely will get reprinted, and we're seeing those huge discrepancies in the PSA 10s and raws. So moving on. So again, Wailord. So again, Journey Together set. It's been out a fair while now. I don't think we're going to see this sort of reprinted personally. Came out March last year. We've not really had any sort of major reprints on it. And it wasn't really a well sort of received set, but there's a few cards in the set I do want to bring to your attention. One being Wailord. So raw price 1662, PSA 10 to 183. So that's about a 12x return. And again, we're seeing that uptick. I talked about this a few videos ago, probably a few weeks back, and it's already up from 15 to 1741. So it's already up 10% plus since I last talked about it, and we're seeing that uptick in volume. But again, really good set. Again, it's an overlooked Pokemon set in my opinion. There's no
real attention to it. But if you pay attention, you look at the certain specific illustration rares, they're insane. Whale here, poking above the water, getting some air. You got the ship in the background. It tells a story within that, which is brilliant. So yeah, again, one to pay attention to, and again, the PSA 10s have gone up from 112 to 183, in a 6 month period. So really good. So PSA 10 again, it's a beautiful card in person. I've got one. Keep it on your radar. Again, moving on, Ascended Heroes, Team Rocket's Doug Trio. So again, I do think this will come down a bit more, but again, it's just to bring it to your attention. So again, Ascended Heroes would likely get some more reprints, so again, you've got to just pay attention to it. Keep on your radar. So raw price 11.77, PSA 10s are 121. Okay. Again, Team Rocket theme. I think of this in particular. Again, it's not found the bottom yet. It's dumped from 15 to 9.17. And we might see a continuation about another 20% potentially. But again, volume, just what I noticed, is starting to pick up. So again, from July the 3rd to the 5th, 28 were sold. And then today and yesterday, 93 were sold. So nearly triple the buyers as we're going down. And I think that will keep increasing as we do dip. Again, it's Team Rocket. So if you've got like a Destin Rivals themes, I don't know, binder, this card will fit really nicely with that. So again, just something to pay attention to. You've got Giovanni in the background. You've got 2 grunts as well. So yeah, really cool. Okay, ends Reshiram. So again, Journey Together. So again, another, set I talked about a minute ago. Undervalued, underappreciated, but there's some striking illustration rares to talk about. Now you have got the box topper, which is the in the booster box for this. But I want to pay attention. You've got the stamped version, but I want to pay attention to the standard version. So again, raw price 17, PSA 10 is 208. So again, about 12, 13x return on a PSA 10. Again, if you get raw mint copies, PSA 10 worthy, it's worth grading for that sort of multiplier in return. And yeah, again, the PSA 10 bottomed out. Let's take a look. Yeah, so again, and that's what I talk about here, the accumulation range before we break out. So again, we bottomed at 131, doubled to 263, come down to 185, so we're seeing that higher low. And that's what you want to find the ones that are doing this. But what I'm looking at here is the raw price. So personally, I wouldn't touch the PSA 10s right now. I'll just look for PSA 10 worthy raw cards, all right? But again, we're starting to see, we've had that dip, volume is picking up, people are liking what they see, and so they should be. Really good card. Moving on, Spiritomb, I thought I'd just mention this again, a Mega Evolution. It's just one I think will do well long term. So again, we're seeing, it's been out, what, just over, still under a year. And we're in that accumulation range I've talked about, and I think the Pokémon is popular enough to warrant some sort of eyes on it. So again, PSA 10s are 43, Raw's 360. They're just so cheap. If you get a PSA 10 grade, you've 10 extra money minus fees. So again, for me, you just have to pay attention to it. And again, population's not too bad, it's 1562. And it's one of those we're starting to see the uptick in the price. We're seeing the volume consistent whilst upticking. So yeah, again, really cool. Big fan of this card. More of a fan of this card. Okay, so Sunflower. So we're going back a few sets of Twilight Masquerade. So again, you had the Greninja. Really good cards. You had the Carmine. You had the sort of the flip effect with the camera pairing, looking down on the Growlithe. You've got Eevee, Chansey. There's a few awesome cards in this set, and one of them being is the Sunflower. What I like about this particular card, again, you've got it's a bit different. You've got that sort of blue hue, looking out sort of the window. You've got obviously a draining board washing up or something like that. And again, it's a home environment. People do collect these sort of particular cards, and again, we've just seen consistent increases. 433 up to 866. It's literally doubled in a year period. 6 month period.
Volumes are awesome, and again, people do like this card. So again, please pay attention. The PSA 10 has only increased. You know, we've gone from 35 up to 90, so it's nearly, not quite triple, but it's over doubled in price. Again, raw 794 up to 90. It's over 11x return if you get a PSA 10. So again, card shows, look for those top graded cards that I've talked about. And again, we'll keep doing videos like this, you know, longer for you guys to enjoy. And again, if you do find these sort of helpful with the data as well, again, please do subscribe. Next 500 subs, we're going to be doing a really big giveaway. So again, please do keep an eye out for that, guys. Okay, finally, it's at Eevee. So again, Twilight Masquerade. So I thought I'd give a shout out to this one. So again, Eevee's an insane card. So you've got Raw's 82, so it is expensive. PSA 10 is 335, so the multiplier is 3x. So that's my point. The gap is close, but some of the other cards I've talked about, we've seen a 10, 12x return. If it grades a 10, you can't pass these opportunities. Volume's good again since release. You know, the PSA 10 again from the bottom, 197 now up to 333, so about a 70% pump. But again, it's Eevee, there's multiples, different poses, really cute. Big fan of this card. And it's a six set. You know, I could talk about this set a lot. I've got many booster boxes sort of kept aside, so yeah, big fan. Final shout out. So the Eevee promo from the SPC. So what I've noticed again on these sort of bigger dips, and again, this is what I do look for, guys. So again, you get that massive sort of dip from 31 down to 25. Not massive, about 40% dump. But again, the blue volume spikes up. You had a buyout of 135 as opposed to the normal 91 sort of average sort of buys on every couple of days. But again, we've sort of bottomed from 24 up to 27. So we've already seen it a 20% pump. Don't pass on this one. The SPC is, you know, also down loads. So you've got a double whammy, cheap promo, which is just starting to uptick. But you're seeing a discount on the SPC. So again, it's one you have to sort of pay attention to. So yeah, so that's my singles picks, guys. Again, majority under $50. So again, really do pay attention to these. You've got some amazing grades in place for PSA 10s. You've got some amazing sub $5 cards in there as well. And we're touching base on different sets. And I hope you sort of learn, again, what to look for when you're sort of looking to purchase your own sort of illustration rares. But yeah, comment below your favourite illustration rare you're picking up. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And again, don't forget, if you do subscribe, notifications on, again, comment your favourite Pokemon. And next Tuesday we'll be announcing the winner for the booster bundle. Okay, well take care, guys. See you in the next one.